Hello beautiful people, I hope we're all well. So we're doing a little nighttime reading today. Usually I'm sitting over there in front of the window, but tonight I wanted to make use of this space. I don't know if you can see Doggy there, but yeah, I think I'll do this as my setup from now on because it's nicer vibes. It's similar to some of the readings I did in the past. But I did have music playing. I want to get that back, but I need to wait until I've got the facilities to do that. So anyway, I've had a really interesting day today. Obviously I uploaded that video about endings and grief and such like, and had quite an intense couple of days. Very much in particular today I was doing a lot of shadow work and meditating on my pain and letting go of things, and it was really quite profound, and yeah, I learned a lot and I feel like a new person. So yeah, anyway, enough about me. That could be relevant to someone out there, to be fair, so like anything I say is relevant in some way or another, maybe something that someone needs to hear. So yeah, I started pulling some cards. I did a little meditation. I wasn't going to do a reading actually, and then I came and like had some time just meditating, and I decided to do some connection, pulling some cards, and what came through was really beautiful and I want to share it, and I also will probably pull more cards on it, to be honest. The kind of overall theme here is a very beautiful seed and beautiful beginning is within the pain and the darkness, and that when we shine a light on that and when we really look within that, we can reach a more, I'd say we can reach an individuation, we can reach our true self. Okay, very deep. This is a really deep reading. It's more of shadow work aspects than the light and positivity of the day, which is really interesting because it's obviously at night time I'm doing this. So let me turn back to my notes. It was really beautiful because I was listening to some of the music and started pulling some cards, and I was just asking for some guidance really, and what messages I needed to share and what messages they had for me. And it was very similar to what I had been dealing with earlier on. So earlier on I did this exercise which I'm going to share because someone might want to do it. One of you would benefit from it, and especially if you're into shadow work, or which is nothing to be scared of. It's just about like figuring yourself out, looking at the parts of you, you know, shining a light on yourself and trying to figure out why you are the way you are, and like how you can, you know, integrate that. So I wrote a letter. I wrote it to my higher self. You can write it to like angels, your spirit team. You can just write it to you. And I basically just wrote all my hopes, my fears. I didn't really overthink about it. I just kind of wrote what was happening, and obviously all the stuff that came out, wanted to come out, came out. I had obviously questions, things that I was feeling and going through. So I did that, and then so I found this through a woman called Coco's Cauldron on TikTok. She also has Instagram. She's incredible, and she does a lot of like spiritual work, and so I did this, and it was really profound for me, and this is kind of mirroring the energy. So then after that you do some divining on it. You maybe pull some cards. You can do a meditation on it if you want, if you don't do tarot cards or whatever. But you just kind of sit with the energy and kind of, when you pull cards, it's nice because it completely mirrors what you've written down, and it kind of gives you the reason as to why. It gives you kind of a little insight into what's really going on in there. And then afterwards, after you've done that, you just sit and you put your pen on the paper and you just wait, and you just start to write, and it will come. Whatever comes through, and that's what you need to hear. And I started to free flow, what is it called, automatic writing, and that's how that higher self comes through, okay, or your spirit team, or whatever you want to call it. But if you want to connect with your higher self, that version of you that has the wisdom, and it answered every single question. It helped me to understand the reason why things were the way they were, and it was absolutely beautiful. So you may want to try that. I really, really highly recommend it. It was extremely healing for me, because I'm very good at ignoring those parts of myself. And also with shadow work, with seeing those parts of ourselves, we don't want to, we're not doing that to gain perfection. We're not doing that to delete that part of ourselves or get rid of it. It's to integrate it and to acknowledge it and to bring it forth, and to really know ourselves, and to become one with that, and become at peace with it, and understand where it comes from, why it happens, and so we can catch the triggers, because the triggers that come are for our own protection, okay? And maybe I'll read out some stuff that I found and that I came up with that really, really, really helped. So as I started to pull cards, I noticed that there was a lot of similarities. So, and some of the stuff came up in what I channeled. So we had the Sun card. This is stepping out of the cave. I kept hearing Mr. Brightside, I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. So it's coming out into the light. Things are coming into the light. Okay. And then we got soul retrieval, which I don't know if you've heard of soul retrieval. So soul retrieval is basically in shamanism when you go through, well, as a human, when we go through experiences, it can be traumatic, and parts of our soul can become fragmented. So we'll lose parts of ourselves, we lose our shine, okay? And soul retrieval is a method in which you can go into those memories, go into those parts of yourself and retrieve that essence back, which is what you're kind of doing in shadow work. So finding this little seed, the reason I'm calling it a seed is because what comes up later, but something is being illuminated, something's being found, this part of ourselves that is going to help us move forward, right? This part of ourselves, which is, I keep thinking of when you're playing a video game and you're getting all these skins. I don't know why this is coming through, or you're getting all these little achievements and shields, and it's this last one that you need to move on to this next space. But this thing that you're gaining isn't necessarily something you're gaining, it's something you're releasing, okay? So the wisdom of that release, the wisdom of that letting go, and that shedding of the skin, the serpent came up, the shedding of that skin, the release of that experience, the release of whatever that needs to be released and let go of, that part of yourself, that version of yourself, it needs to be released to move into our new dimension, I guess, or new chapter, okay? Now, on these cards, I don't know if you can see, the lighting's really great. You've got these moons, and as I pulled each card, the moon's getting closer, okay? Things are being revealed, okay? And it's not always a very comfortable experience. But there is something, a key a nugget, an experience. That could be that part of your soul you're gaining. But there's this thing that you need to get to the next step, okay? So as I was looking at these cards, I just wrote some stuff down. I was come out of the cave, savor the life, giving light of the sun. Get out and play. And with the soul retrieval, the shadow work, you're recovering part of yourself, your energy, something that was lost. Healing wounds takes us back to our original nature. We need to be at one with creation, no longer fragmented, healing the cause of our pain. And when I was reading that, I kept thinking of Bug's Life. Now in Bug's Life, there is, I kept seeing a, like, because look, he's holding this butterfly, he's holding this gem. But to me, it was a seed. And there's 2 other seeds in this reading and other cards, but I'll wait and I'll show you them after. But I kept thinking of, in Bug's Life, when Flick is telling Dot about how everything is contained in this tiny little seed. And it takes a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of rain, and then voila, the tree comes from this tiny little seed. And earlier on, I was doing a lot of meditating and, you know, just feeling into my stuff. And I kept getting the same thing, okay? And it was about seasons, and life always has our seasons, and the seasons are important. I'm going to just read it out to you, you know. It's very vulnerable, it's very raw, but I'm sure someone will benefit from this. I'm going to take out the really personal bits. I don't want you knowing all the information. Okay, here we go. Likening yourself to perfection is the downfall of us all. Nobody's perfect, and that's where we often go wrong. Rain comes and so does shine. All cycles creating what is needed on this earth. It is the same with your life. And I go into a lot about how my heart was feeling pain, because I was doing a lot of heart healing and relationship healing, which is interesting because this does come up in the cards, but I'll talk about that a bit later. So remember the tree analogy of relationships. I don't know if I've explained this on here. I think I have. And it's basically the tree analogy. Essentially, each relationship in your life represents a different part of the tree. So you could be a leaf where you're there for a season. It could be a branch where you're there for many seasons and then you fall away, or you're a branch that's there forever, or a root and a trunk, or a trunk or a root. Trunks can break, they can fall, they can get tucked. The roots are always there, okay? So there are different representations of relationships in our lives, okay? And we can't expect a leaf to be a branch to be a trunk to be the root, okay? Because if we put too much pressure on that, we can break the branch, we can break the leaf off, etc. Okay, so it's about seeing people where they're at, right? So I was writing this, that's what the tree analogy of relationships is. Remember the tree analogy of relationships. Can't expect a branch to be the trunk or the roots. Allow it time. Remember the tree within yourself, the experiences that have made you. The tree goes through seasons, so does the rose bush. You have taken shears to the bush, but the roses grow again. It is the dirty work needing done for the healing to come. It's an initiation rather. Be brave. What you've done is brave. Heal from the wounds, or it will destroy you. Very fascinating. So when I was thinking of Bug's Eye, that seed I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you the card, the seed, because this came up and I was like, you fucking kidding me on? There's so much in there. Your pain and everything you've gone through. Your lessons. All of it. It's all within. It's not out with. It's within. Okay? And I had written this earlier and I hadn't pulled these cards. Shamanic work. Soul retrieval to gain back energy, power and aspects of the self that have lain forgotten and dormant. So there's something we're being called to remember. A version of ourselves we're being called to step into here. Okay? Now, skin shedding, new vulnerability, passion. Okay? This also represents a Kundalini awakening, an energy awakening. Okay? A big, big deal. That's what this represents. So then I pulled. I actually didn't pull the seed yet. The reason it fascinated me was because a seed came out before that in this card. Now I don't know if you can see this little seed of this dragon. This is the Ace of Earth. This is a brand new beginning. He has got that seed there. He's like, look, and the seed's black as well. That's shadow to me. That's shadow work. It's in this new beginning. This is a new beginning card. Is in the dark. It's in that wee dark part. It's in the part we don't want to look at. Okay. And this is an initiation, as I said earlier. She's going to go into this new portal, this new place. This is individuation, this card. This is the true self. Okay, so she's gained that seed and she's becoming. I'll show you in a minute. So we got the seed. You have the mystic. Okay, so this is who you're becoming. But look at this little butterfly here. The mirroring is insane. So you got the seed. The seed. Oh my god, I can't. I need a better way of doing this. Seed and a seed. The mystic and the mystic. Okay. You need to say goodbye to your public persona and you need to say goodbye to something. You need to let something go. That card is about going up and leaving home and becoming oneself. And transforming. Okay, that's what that card is. And she's like a beautiful, ethereal, angelic being with this wings. Like she's all multicolored and she's just stepping out into who she is. Even the sun card's very similar. She's got wings and she's just ethereal. She's showing out, she's stepping out her cage, showing who she is, okay? It's about soul and soul. It's the integration of soul and shadow, the conscious and unconscious. It's individuation. Okay, you're balancing the two. You're balancing those two to all the parts of yourself. You're not just being the light and getting rid of the shadow and ignoring it, or just being fully in the shadow and ignoring the light. It's the integration of both, okay? Which is the coming out of the cage. That's the rebirth, right? Whole realized new self resides at the center. Okay. Then we got Two of Water. This is an integration. It could be an integration in the relationships out with yourself, but it could be also the integration of the relationship within. And it's funny because I was doing a lot of shadow work and the main theme of mine was about love, relationships, and my heart and things I've gone through in the past. And this card is basically saying cherish all your loves. It's like looking at the pain we've been caused in the past and not looking at it with you're awful for doing that to me. It's that when we integrate that, it's we realizing the errors of everyone's ways, and we realize why people do the things they do and where it comes from in their own shadow. Because we're all mirrors, and I'm going to read another thing about a mirror that I wrote. Maintain independence, but avoiding codependence. Becoming happy in who you are, right? Avoiding taking sides. Becoming balance, okay? So when we pulled this mystic, the mystic, she plays a very important role here. The mystic is very comfortable being in the dark. She is comfortable transforming. She goes in and she looks, and she or he, just take what resonates, right? You don't get all caught up in the gender shit, right? So this mystic, it's got a seed in the middle, it's glowing. There's the eye again, reflected here and here. Okay, that's the divine. Look at the mirroring, actually, that's insane. So transmuting poison to nectar. The mystic plays a critical role in society. Okay. Remained fearlessly dedicated to the path. They remain they remain fiercely dedicated to the path of transformation. People are not comfortable with transformation, but you need people in life to be doing those transformational acts and to be transforming themselves and fixing themselves within, and it does encourage other people to do so. This may also mean, you know, you may be a catalyst for other people's lives, right? The mystic transmutes poison into nectar, no longer feeding darkness, but rather sitting in the presence of it, harnessing the potential and energy behind it. Now, the video that I shared earlier about grief, pain, death, it's like that liminal space and that space of that happening. It's not dark, it's darker, it's fun. It's not fun, it's dark and it's fun. What am I saying? It's dark, it is not fun, but there is potential, fertile energy and abundance in those areas. It's like there's really potent energy in there for learning, right? And it's the same with going through processes of letting go, surrender, and really painful experiences, because we want to rush feeling the healing, but actually to go get the healing you have to go through the shit, right? To get the pearl of wisdom, the seed, because that's actually a pearl there in the illustration. But that again, it's the origin story, okay? Not all origin stories are beautiful. They're very complex and they come from pain as well. Even look at a diamond, how they're made, right? Lots of pressure, lots of darkness. So that's kind of the energy that I was reading on those cards, and it was really, really quite fascinating. And when we start to integrate that part of ourselves and start to be happy being who we are and being on our own and doing that transformation and focusing on our own work, right, it can heal relationships. Okay, when we do our own healing, it can heal relationships out with us. And I don't mean all relationships, because there's certain relationships that you don't have responsibility for, and they're your lessons or their karma that's playing out, whatever it is. But like some relationships may be breaking down at the moment, and it's like, how can I fix them? And it's like to know how to fix things in our external is to fix the internal, but not fixing as in getting rid of, or changing as in accepting. Fixing, when I say fixing, it's a terrible word to use. It's accepting who you are. It's accepting the internal. You know? Look at the bigger picture and work through your fears. Look at the bigger picture of everything. Not taking everything so damn personally. And why do we feel that we're getting attacked by things, bad things that happen, and protecting ourselves? Because that's an arrow I'm thinking of, the attack. It's like, why do we feel things are attacking us personally? Like maybe it's just happening the way it is because it's meant to. And what is that bringing up within us? Work through your fears. We have to look at the bigger picture, because if we look at what's happening just now and why it's happening now and it's all gone to shit, we're forgetting the potential that it's going to be giving us in the future, the potential lessons, the potential learning, the potential version of ourselves. We can't get stuck in the past, stuck in what we've lost and stuck in who we've been, because that's served its purpose. That's already served its purpose. Okay. We got 9 of Pentacles, which is independence. She's really joyful there, like, and it's funny because this came out with 8 of Swords, which is like imprisoned in her own mental space and her own emotions, but like she's in the mirror. That's the perception, that's the depth of the shadow work, but she's actually not bound. She's free, but she needs to look at herself in that mirror. 9 of Wands is battle, weary. It's feeling like we're constantly getting thrown shit our way, but like it's, I'm also getting with this, it's like keeping boundaries but not having walls up, because you can still get through those walls. If we put walls up due to our shadow, we block things, but with that, that's not a wall. Like, there's space to move through. And Temperance, alchemy. Alchemy is the ultimate shadow work. It's changing the dark into the light, okay? And by doing that, look at this, she's working her magic. There's a cauldron there and herbs. She can be free, okay? It's really interesting. We also we learn an element of independence. We don't depend on our past versions of ourselves, or like I can't really, yeah, don't know what I'm saying. Whoa. This may be the thing you need to start going into your own business. It's also encouraging you to be singly independent and working for you, as in terms of not depending on other people's perceptions or ideas of you, and just standing out that cave and being like, right, this is me. And trusting. And no longer being defensive based on the wounds that are within us. Like, just integrating the wounds. These don't feel right, these cards. Bear with. I do this every time, but that's the flow. I keep hearing that song coming out of my cage. Mr. Brightside. Coming out of my cage and I'll be doing just fine. Look at little dog. She's absolutely conked out. She's had a great day with me. But you know, those cards don't feel right for some reason. Funny. Illumination, the sun, but she's on the same moth, like moth butterfly thing, soul retrieval. And there's the moon again. Look at the mirroring. Things are being illuminated. We're illuminating the dark. Okay, the dark. We're looking at that shadow now, okay? It's a very important process. It's very, very important. I just don't know what I'm going to say, but of course, illumination. Wisdom. Unicorn, standing in the light, showing our true selves. So, that was loud. Sorry, Jura. So, yeah, you might even want to look into soul retrieval meditations. or even going to a shamanic practitioner or someone that's well versed in that can help you kind of dig deep, because it's good to have help with that, because shadow work can be quite jarring if you're not really in the mental headspace for it, so you need to be really careful. And there's an element of strength of mind here though, so if this is resonant for you, I feel like the mystic is very strong and comfortable in that darkness. This is a random message coming through right now. Laughter. Look at the little kids. There may be something that's happened when you're younger where you've lost part of your energy and your vital self, or you're being called to doing some inner child healing, doing things that you loved when you were younger, but also not taking life so seriously and looking at that dark part of life. You know, they say darker energy feeds on fear. It's, for some reason, I was just looking at this and thinking of like the boogeyman, and then if you were to laugh at the boogeyman, he wouldn't be too impressed and he'd probably just be like, well, it's not worth my time. So it's laughing it's not even laughing in the face of the darkness, but like looking at it from a different perspective, I guess. And laughter's the best medicine for anything. Like if you're going through something really tough right now, moments of laughter will really be healing. I mean, I'm going through it, to be honest, but like there is moments where things do get better, and there is moments of laughter and happiness, and that gets more obvious. Winter, take care of your needs. So winter to me is a time of, you know, well, that's when the seeds, there's no plants, right? Well, there's plants, but it's not spring where all the plants are blossoming and flourishing, and it's like winter is the time to be like in that hibernation, right? But that's just nodding to the darker, like that shadow work is going into that winter, right? And seeing what's going down, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling, what parts am I abandoning. There's some really interesting prompts. I will share them on my community page on YouTube. I'll share the thing that I did, and if you want to do it, it was really healing. Yeah, seer. By going into that darkness, you can see beyond your current situation. It's like you can start to heal from the wounds and see how the wounds manifest, and how, if they manifest, they continue to manifest the same way they are now in the future, then how it could pan out. Because it's nice to do shadow work, because you're then not going into the world blind. You go into the world and realize your triggers and what's going on, and go, right, I know where that's coming from, right? And you just kind of get to know yourself a bit better, and it helps you to see past the barriers that have been created in your mind from those pains. Yeah, spring, winter to spring. By doing that, see your seeds sow. See your seeds grow, rather. So, see your seeds grow, which is 9 of Pentacles, right? It's like, that's the abundant energy from the darkness. That's the abundance from that really useful energy, right? So use it to your advantage. Because some really beautiful new births coming. Seeds, see your seeds grow. Seeds again. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. That's very fertile energy there. There's something magic there. There's something really special that you can tap into. It's a gift. There we go, Two of Cups. That's the same thing. And that might be the way. It's the same. Two of Water. That's how you can, maybe that's what you need to do your healing for, is for your relationships. Quite like me. Maybe that's going to bring forth the energy for the right relationship for you. I don't really like talking about relationships on my readings because everyone and their gran does relationship readings on YouTube, but if the energy comes through, it comes through, right? And that's two cards of the same. I keep hearing birds of a feather. We should stick together. Three of Cups. All types of relationships. Like, you're healing all types of relationships by doing this work. The relationship with yourself, the relationships with your loved ones, with your friends, with the world around you, with even the people you don't like, because you realise and you start to see the reason why things are the way they are, and you become a lot more comfortable in it and less angry. It's really nice. I've done a lot of forgiving today after doing my shadow work, so it's really nice. Initiation. Again, I've said that multiple times. Opening the heart. There's another seed. You're opening that seed up. I'm going to read the book for that. Cacao opens your heart. That's what cacao does when you drink it. It opens the heart. So this work may help you to open your heart, because it's not good to keep it shut off due to pain and things that have happened in the past, because you're blocking some real good stuff in your life. I'm going to read as well what I channeled too, because it was really beautiful. Yeah, initiation, spiritual test, revelation, access to the cosmic heart, divine love, light beings, channeling languages of light. Quetzal has flown into your cards today, symbolising initiation. The sky gods are speaking and bathing your soul in liquid light as you traverse a series of spiritual tests. Liquid light, the sun. Okay. The Quetzal is considered one of the highest divine apparitions, as it is associated with the snake god. The snake god. Quetzalcoatl. I can't say that word. I'm terrible at butchering that, but that, shedding the skin. The feathered serpent. Like cacao, both are considered precious heavenly gifts from the sky gods. These divine apparitions today are asking you to deeply tune into the cosmic heart. Let it move you. Open yourself to receive the holy gifts provided and listen carefully to the light language pouring through them. Keep elevating your frequency rooted in unconditional love. Step out of your own way and allow your inner heart to blossom. Know that through this divine love we experience the cosmic heart, the gateway to spirit. So that's where the juice is. Open your heart. That's where the juice is. And it's an uncomfortable experience, honestly. I get it. But I'm going to read this to you. So this was about, so I was doing a lot of heart healing. And I was having some thoughts and feelings, and I was like, where are they coming from? Why am I feeling that way? Why am I upset with that person? Why am I grieving that person? And I was feeling into my body where it was coming from and realising a lot. So after I did the letter and did the pulling my cards, I did the automatic writing, and this came through. So I already said this first, but I'm going to say it again. Likening yourself to perfection is the downfall of us all. Nobody's perfect, and that's where we often go wrong. Rain comes and so does shine. All cycles creating what is needed on this earth. It's the same with your life. I know your heart feels pain. What wind is coming up when you think of him with someone else? It's not truth you are feeling or intuition. It's a desire to heal the wind. Do heart meditation, heart clearing and grounding. Accept. Do Reiki. Honor your heart. The wind is from all past experiences and relationships, romantic and unromantic. Know that a Knight of Cups can come along, but only when you have come to love yourself. Inner child healing is very important. I feel the wind started multiple times. I feel the wind is slashed multiple times. Your heart is the deepest one needing attention. So that is where the shadow, I was feeling it within, where I needed the most attention, okay? Leverage yourself above the ego mind. Thank it for its wisdom, but don't let it take charge. Lessons are, am I writing? Lessons are being learned. The mirror has cracked, shining light on the harsh. No, the mirror has cracked, shining light on the mask and shell, slipping to be revealed. What will come will come. You can't know it all, but you have taken that glass from the mirror that cracked and you're cutting yourself again and again. You don't deserve that. You deserve love. Try a different approach. Connect with the earth, ground into form. Being too higher minded can attract darkness. That energy can feed your fear. Keep in the mundane too. You have loved from a harmed heart, and so have the others. All around. It's not intentional. It is subconscious pain. And then I wrote, remember the tree analogy. You can't expect a branch to be the trunk or the roots. Allow it time. Remember the tree within yourself, the experiences that have made you. The tree goes through seasons. So does the rose bush. You've taken shears to the bush, but the rose grows again. It's dirty work, needing done for the healing to come. It's an initiation. Be brave. What you have done is brave. Heal from the wounds, or it will destroy you. As much as you try and destroy that love within and cut it away and look at the situation with anger, and the love can still reside. That bush can still grow, but we need to stop taking the shears at it. We need to stop self-sabotaging, okay? And the self-sabotage comes from the fear and the looking at the situation from the ego, from the dark, right? And feeling hurt. And when I wrote the thing about the mirror, all of the relationships we have are mirrors, right? And they're mirrors because they shine light on why we feel the way we feel, how we expect people to show up, how we react to certain situations. And the mirror's cracked, as in so much has been seen within this other person, within you, that instead of accepting it and allowing it and loving the self and just trying to, heal it, by looking at the other and getting angry at what they've done. And I'm not talking about abuse, right, and physical abuse and all that. Like, I'm just talking about, like, when we're trying to work in all relationships, there's always integration issues. But when I'm saying the mirror's cracked and you're using it to harm yourself, it's like you are that reflection. The other person's on the other side, and you're the same, one and the same. And by throwing hate and anger in your mind, or even to them, And you're doing it to yourself. So you're like, oh, this person is harming me because of this and doing this and that and this. Rather than going, wait a minute, we're both being harmed, we're both hurt, and we're both acting from that past self, from that whole of maybe the soul retrieval needing done, that part of ourselves that's missing. And when that part of ourselves missing, we look for it in another person. But that true harmonious relationships can be only found when we are truly harmonious within, and we're not trying to fill a hole, right? This is awfully deep. It's really deep. I don't know if I'm going to share it or not. I'm sure I will. But the thing is, right, this reading might not be for everyone, and that's cool. Shaman. What was I saying? Trust in higher forces. Shamans go down into the underworld. They do shadow work. They retrieve the light energy of yourself. They do soul retrievals. So, yeah. Higher forces. Trusting in higher forces. Knowing that maybe you, yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. You might want to listen to some shamanic drumming. That's a really good way. Meditating on shamanic drumming is a good way to go into that. Definitely do some research if you're really interested, if that's something you feel called to. It's some really beautiful ancient wisdom. And there's the snake again. Action. Nettle. Nettles sting, right? Action is needed to heal the pain. Shed the skin. Trust your own understanding. There's a mask. Mask is slipping. The reason things can be the way that they are. And there's more moths. There's the moths and the butterflies at the bottom. It's like your own understanding. It's just an internal job. It's very deep. It's very hard to get. So be bold to make the first move. There's action. I'm going to read that. Take action. Direct action, fierce protector, leadership, strength, power in pursuit of truth, dominance. Warrior Mars is a representation of our will to survive, protect, pursue and act. Physically, the elemental fire within Nettle activates to purify and strengthen. Emotionally and mentally, it directs ambition, sharpens intellect and ignites leadership. On a spiritual level, Nettle has the power of snake medicine, granting us the power of fire to transmute and protect. Nettle medicine teaches you on a personal level to be strong, protective and able to handle life in its complexity. You meet difficulties with patience and confidence. This allows for emotional maturity and avoids frustration, which is what that integration helps with. Don't withdraw your energy in the face of discomfort. If you've drawn this card today, there's a need within you to transmute some action, thought or desire. Release the outer skin of your present identity and draw upon the powers of fire to lead and act. Lead by example. And I'm going to read the Shaman card. Trust in your angels, guides and ancestors. If you have given your power away, claim it back. On the inner planes, all of the shamans of times gone by are helping the human race to understand the complexities of life and the needs of Mother Earth. Many are working as spiritual guides to light workers and light warriors. The Shaman card brings the energy of your shaman guides to you. Shamans believed that when there was illness or disease, it was because a person's power had been left behind somewhere or a negative pattern had installed itself in them. In trance, they would travel to the underworld to recall this power and remove the demon. If this card comes to you, it's because you need to do some release work with lower energies, or with your lack of trust in the spiritual energies that are guiding you. The shaman will aid you in that quest. Extended message. There are spiritual allies working in your favour, and their miracles will unfold much more easily when you move in a state of trust. So call back your power and stop allowing external forces to divert you from the miracles you deserve. Hand over all of your concerns to your spiritual allies. When you do so, you allow them to send your intuitive guidance and messages that will allow you to correct this situation and come out on top. The shaman card also shows that you have shamanic potential to move between the realms and connect with your guides in an extremely personal way. It's exactly what I've been saying. Like, to a T. And then I'm going to read this. Trust your own understanding as well. And then I'm probably going to go, because it's quite intense. Maybe I'll do, I know, I'll do one more. Wait. The information you're receiving is reliable and accurate. Look deeply into the situation before making any commitments. You have the foresight and ability to discern that there's more than meets the eye. Everything will be revealed in appropriate time. Do not feel the need to prove yourself. Be patient and allow things to unfold as they will. Trust your own understanding. Trust you, who you are. When you do that healing work, and you may realise that you need to stand more in your power and be more of who you are, your true self. Trust that part of yourself. Trust that version of yourself. Know that that is your truth. And that will resonate with others. And one more card, please, Spirit. And what is the last piece of advice for the collective that you want to share? Like, round this off nicely. Whoa. Oh my God. No. I keep hearing that song in Bug's Life. Watch Bug's Life. I keep hearing the one that's like when they're doing it. You need to watch Bug's Life. Maybe there's a message for you in it. It's one of my favourite films when I was younger, and I'm a very rebellious spirit, so I'm not surprised that was my favourite. I'm not surprised. So, one card, please. Receiving. Receiving. Maybe you are uncomfortable with receiving. You're being called to sort of giving your energy so much and receive. Also, she's drinking this. It's like cacao, the initiation. She's drinking, for some reason I'm thinking of the seed and gaining that part of herself back. It's coming back in. Okay, and funny, I seen these spirals when I was giving myself Reiki the other night before I went to sleep, and it was trippy as hell. But you're receiving part of yourself back here. That's what I'm getting from this. That's what I'm getting from that. But what was this advice? Let's see. You're so loved. Your every need is witnessed and responded to by the universe. However, you sometimes forget this. You become swept up in the momentum of habitual consciousness, and you forget to take a moment to stop, breathe, and be. In that moment, you can receive the love of the universe that's receiving you. It will nourish you with contentment and energy. You've not done this enough, so your soul is becoming parched and is drying out. Soul retrieval. Go put your feet on the grass. Go outside in nature. Touch grass, okay? Energy's been going out of you, but there's not enough coming back in. It's time to bring something back in for you, to receive and be received. So maybe that's why all these relationship things are coming up. You're giving too much. You're not listening to yourself, and you feel lost because you keep giving and not receiving anything in return, and things keep going wrong, and it's because you're not giving to yourself. To receive, right, it's time to bring something back in for you, to receive and be received. You're being offered a chance for restoration now, to feel nourished, cared for and loved. Accept it. You deserve it. The healing process below will help you to surrender any guilt or shame you feel for having needs in the first place. I'll read that to you in a bit. It will also help you to overcome any struggle that you have receiving and accepting, so that your needs can be met. Do you know how much joy the universe gains from being able to give to you? When you delight in what you receive, when you openly embrace a gift and are so happy with it, the seed, when you're happy with the seed, the universe is fully received by you. In this space, there is joyful communication between you and life. Energy flows more freely and magic happens. When you demur, saying you cannot accept, that is too great a gift, or that you're not worthy, you're impeding the flow. You're inhibiting the communion, the connection, the playful interaction between you and the universe. And maybe that's what that laughter card was. It's you and the universe having that integration in that relationship. Maybe that's why the Two of Cups coming up. That's that relationship it's referring to. Having a relationship with that divine part of yourself, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. And by doing that process I explained at the start, it's a great start. It's a great way to do that. Meditating, going out into fucking nature. Sorry, I swore. Commune with that, right? Get back to your roots. Enough with the false modesty and guilt. You are a radiant sun in human clothing. The sun card came out. You are. Lost my pen. It's fine. You're a radiant sun in human clothing. An exquisite life experience is your birthright. Enjoy it, soak it up, all of it, including the restoration of sacred rest. From that place of nourishment, you will more effortlessly create, live and love with greater energy and thriving. Pulsing passion, the earth rests each night so it can greet the sun again each morning with the spectacular living art of sunrise. The sun came up at the beginning. Allow yourself to switch off, step away, close the laptop, switch off the phone, and just be with yourself for a little while. You will return and be more efficient and effective. Rest now, play now, and work later. Forget your worries for a while. Switch off. Do something else. Let it all go, and it will all flow. Stop doing too much. Stop trying to fix everything. Stop trying to figure out why things are the way they are. Maybe try and figure out why you're reacting to certain things and why you're feeling the pain. But don't try and change the things that are happening too much. Because we need to release a bit of that control. It's not our responsibility. Sometimes we just have to be and receive, and to feel, and to let go. It's really uncomfortable, I'm so aware, and it's what I'm going through right now, but there is peace in that flow. There's peace in that flow. This is almost an hour long. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's been really quick. Yeah, be open to receive 9 of Cups. Wish granted. Look at that treasure. She's like in her heart. To receive abundance, it comes straight from within first. In all aspects of life. Places you want to go, things you want to have, people you want to be with, relationships you want to have, things you want to be, people you want to be. It starts in here. Look, she's received that gift. She's drank that she's got part of herself back. She's drank it in, and she's free. She's like, look at me, shining from within, and look at the wee hands at the top, the unseen forces. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. I don't even know if I'm going to share this or not. Probably will. It was a bit all over the place. I'm well aware some people might be like, what the hell? But whoever it's meant to be for, I'm sure will receive it. If there's a message in here for you, that is. And yeah, I will share some of the shadow work prompts that were really interesting. And it doesn't need to be too serious. Like, just start small. Even just meditate, you know, like, and know that the pain and the struggles, the darkness, isn't always forever, because the sun has to come up eventually. Okay, thank you.